Tommy, up north again this weekend, another long trip, but we've done it plenty of times before this season. We can do it again. What are your thoughts ahead of this one?
Well, we're looking forward to the game as usual. I think we got a bit of a fillet in the week. We took a strong side down to the New Forest to get the Saturday performance out of our system, and the lads, in fairness to them, those used, 75% of them did very well for 75% of whatever the actions that they completed. So we were pleased with what we did down there. And obviously the training session this morning's gone really well, and we're off, like you said, early in the morning. We'll be training en route on the way to Gateshead. We had 2 very close games with them last year, and I don't expect anything different this.
We'll talk about Saturday quickly, because it wasn't the best one, was it? You said you wanted a reaction from the players. Do you think you've seen that in the performance on Tuesday night and in training this week?
Yeah, I mean, people quite rightly say we've gone to Bashley and beaten the team we should beat, but ultimately you still got to do it, and the attitude in the application of the group on Tuesday night was excellent. So they've got to be commended for that. Nobody likes losing. We don't like losing at home in particularly, but it hasn't happened too often, and a lot of the time when you lose a game, people will remember the last 45 minutes. If you look back at that game, like we do, we analyse the games, and we could have and should have probably been 1 or 2 goals up before what we felt was a really harsh penalty decision. So, don't get me wrong, I'm not dressing it up. It was an awful result and not a great performance. But I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. And the lads who have got us into this situation are going to have to work very hard to change the mood and the situation that they found themselves in.
When something like that happens, do you change much of training, or do you just kind of do more of the same and just hope that you get a reaction out of the players, or does it take a change to do something?
Well, I think if you just do the same thing you can't expect different results. So you got to slightly tweak things. You've got to give them different puzzles, different problems, and ultimately, when they cross the white line, is the players, if they can implement what we see as the best pattern of play to be doing when we're in possession and the best structure to be when we haven't got the ball, 9 times out of 10 this season, whether we've won the game or whether we haven't been too disappointed with some of the performances. But ultimately, the game is about the 2 boxes, and we've been really good between the boxes, very good. And we have to put our hands up as a group and say we haven't been good enough in either of the 2 boxes, either defensively or attacking wise. And ultimately, therein lies the difference between where we are now and where we felt we were last season, which wasn't a mile away from where we are actually. We
saw a bit more clinical form in front of goal, didn't we, on Tuesday night? So that'll be a bit of a boost in confidence to some of those players, won't it?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. 3 of the 4 lads who we classed as strikers here got on the score sheet. So, we were backed by a good 3-figure crowd down in the New Forest, which, in fairness, it was a hell of a place to find. So I'm pleased that we give them something there to smile about and think about on the way home, and hopefully regain their confidence. So, like I said, we went up to Gateshead twice last year in a week and eventually come away with all 3 points. I think we drew with them at home early on in the season. So, yeah, like I said, we were very well matched last season. I don't see it being a massive difference this season. Everybody will tell me about the negative side of stuff, but I have to look at the whole picture and believe that what we're doing is still the right things. The methods we use in training, the preparation, it's exactly as what we did last year. So, we haven't changed. We haven't become a bad staff overnight, and the players haven't become bad players overnight. So I'll keep the faith. Everybody else has got to do the same thing.
And looking ahead to our opponents on Saturday, they've had a change in manager recently, haven't they? But it's another one that's been a coach there in the past, and I'm sure they know the style that they do. Gateshead, they have that style of play that everyone seems to know, but that doesn't make it any easier to deal with it, does it?
Well, they're very good at what they do. In possession, you have to be patient against them. I think they're slightly different to what they were last season, but I'm not going to give you secrets away. But they've changed their manager because their managers have done particularly well, or perceived to have been playing a manner of football that will bring success. And we're not a million miles away from the way they play. Like I said, we had 2 very close games last season playing similarly to them. Let's see who does better on the day. It's as simple as that.